Dai is born to be a material in the magic world. Every morning, he tried to recite a simple mantra in his old magic hut so that the water could burn the water himself. What a pity, every time he opens his mouth, he just says it and then comes out. This day was no exception. He cleared his throat and shouted loudly, "Water, water, heat me up." What's the result? Not only did the water tank not move, but suddenly a cold water column spurted out, hitting his face. He widened his eyes, moistened, and slipped on the floor, falling all over the sky. When the cat in the neighborhood saw this, he looked out of the window, as if laughing at him as stupid as he was. Dai got up, wiped the water droplets on his face, and muttered, "Why do you do this every time?" The mantra in the book is obviously very simple. He slammed his head and decided to go to the old bookstore in the town to hang out. Maybe he could find a new book to teach him how to order the door. The old bookstore is located in the ruins area near the town, where there are dust and spider networks. Every time Dai comes, he feels like he has entered a big pile of goods. The owner of the store was stunned and didn't even say hello, so he started shopping by himself. The shelves are full of broken books, one of which is particularly eye-catching. The cover is yellow leather with twisted runes engraved on it, which looks like an antique that has lived for thousands of years. Dai was curious, picked it up with his hands and flipped the first page. Who knows that as soon as the book was opened and a green light flashed, the book page actually started to move on its own. "Oh, what's this?" Dai was shocked and almost wiped out the book. "Hey, waste! Are you fucking me? Looking at your clumsy appearance, you can't even recite the water spell well. Do you still want to touch my magic books of age?" The sound of the book appeared from the page, as sharp as an old woman breaking her mouth. Dai was stunned, his mouth slapped. You talk?" The book looked through the page and made a mocking rustling sound. "Of course, I am a magic book in Wanyan. I have seen more idiots than you. Look at you, your body is still moist. Have you failed again? Haha, seriously, if you don't want to be scorched, don't use magic again." Dai wanted to escape, but couldn't help it. Curious, I approached and asked, "Can you teach me? I really want to be awesome." The book was turned on, and my temper became even more toxic. "Teaching you? Don't joke, I will go to help Goblin with my hair, and I don't want to waste time on you. But I'm a little soft-hearted when I see your stupid look. Come on, perform my first mission, stealing a dragon egg and coming back, and it proves that you are not completely helpless." Dai heard it, and was surprised, but he felt funny again. It turns out that there are really such books in this world that you will complain about? He grabbed the head and decided to try it first. "Okay, I'll try it, but you have to tell me what to do." The book turned around and continued to recite, "Tell you step by step? Please, I'm not your nanny. Take a quick action, otherwise I will close my mouth immediately and let you hit the wall by yourself." Dai smiled and thought that although the book was sarcastic, it was surprisingly interesting. After saying that, he stuffed his book into his backpack and walked out of the bookstore, thinking that it might be even more ridiculous to follow. The sun outside was still high, so he decided to find a place to practice first, but he always started with small things. Dai walked out of the old bookstore with the magic book that would break his mouth on his back, and the sun was still high in the sky. He snatched his head, thinking that he would find a remote place to train first, so as not to cause trouble. There is a small forest outside the town, with deserted places and not many birds, only a few squirrels jumping on the trees. He found a large stone head and sat down, took out the book from his backpack, and flipped through the page. "Hey, waste, sit there and be dazed? Didn't you say you wanted to steal the dragon egg? Let me see if you have those two tricks first." The sound of the book was sharp and mean, like a complaining son of the countryside. Dai glanced at her eyes and tried to put on a brave look. Okay, tell me where the dragon nest is. I haven't seen it even on the map." The book flipped through the page and made a rustling sound. "Map? Please, I am a magic book in Wanyan, not a guidebook. Remember, the dragon nest is under the foot of the East Mountain. The hole is like a crooked stone arch, and the dragon guarding is not a vegetarian." "Oh, By the way, you have to practice a shady spell first, so as not to be roasted into barbecue as soon as you go. Dai pointed at the head, thinking that this sounded crazy, but he still decided to try it. After all, although the book was so vicious, it at least gave a little trace. He cleared his throat, muttered the mantra as he recorded on the book, "Hidden, hide it, and you won't see it." What happened? His hands didn't change, but the big rock on the side began to sway. The stone suddenly grew 4 short legs, jumping like a lively rabbit, heading straight to the deep forest. The squirrels scattered in surprise. Dai widened his eyes and chased after him. "Wait. That's the stone I want." The book burst into laughter. "Ha, look at your stupidity. The obscene spell has become a jump spell? Remember to tell me clearly next time, don't let the stone go to participate in the marathon." Dai chased the stone with panting, and on the way, he reached the tree root and fell a dog to eat shit. Fortunately, no one saw him, so he got up and patted his clothes and muttered, "Please, can you complain less and teach more?" The book replied disdainfully, "Teaching you? Okay, catch the jumping rabbit first, to prove that you are not useless." Finally, Dai caught the stone beside the forest. It was so tired that it stopped, and its legs slowly shrank back and turned back to its original state. He wiped his sweat, thinking that the process was ridiculous, and he became a little more confident. As he continued to walk forward, the stone arch indeed appeared under the foot of the east mountain, and a faint smoke appeared at the entrance of the cave, and a low roar was heard. Dai's heart beat faster and he approached secretly, hiding behind the rock and watching in. Inside, a small dragon plate was lying on the nest, and the flashes were shining, as if wearing green armor, and there were several eggs next to it as big as watermelons. Dai swallowed and wanted to slip over, but stepped on a loose stone and made a sound. Xiaolong raised his head, his eyes widened like a light. "Who is there?" Dai was so scared that he burst into cold sweat, and hurriedly chanted the spell in a low voice. "No, I don't see it anymore, I'm invisible." The spell actually worked, and a faint light appeared around him, becoming blurred. Xiaolong was confused and Zhang Wang was everywhere. Dai took the opportunity to move forward and accidentally kicked the egg. The egg rolled out, and the little dragon roared, "You little devil, dare you steal my baby?" The book laughed in his backpack. "Ha, see the devil, you actually succeeded halfway. Pick it up quickly and run, don't stand there like a wooden man." Dai grabbed an egg and hugged it in her mouth, feeling it was warm and the surface was rough like an old tree. He turned around and the little dragon was still moving around. Dai couldn't help laughing, thinking that he was very happy this time. After walking out of the foot, he decided to find a safe place to rest first. After the mission just started, he might have to face more troublesome things. The sun was sinking, and the snails in the forest began to call. He continued to walk forward, calculating the next plan in his brain. Dai held the rough dragon egg and walked slowly into the forest. Xiang pulled his shadow wide, and he felt his arms were sore and numb that he was carrying a big watermelon, and his stomach was yelling at the protest. There was a small open space in front of him, surrounded by several crooked trees, and he decided to rest here. After finding a flat grass, Dai carefully put the egg aside and gasped against the tree. The magic book flipped the page and discomfortably in the backpack. "Hey, waste, are you lying down like this? The stolen eggs are still hot. As soon as they hatched a dragon and bit your butt." Dai ignored it, rubbed his shoulders, thinking that he would order a fire first, so that he could roast some wild fruits tonight. The snails in the forest were screaming. He piled up some dry branches and tried to recite a small fireball spell. As a result, the flames in my hands were too small, and I couldn't even touch the branches, and only a strange smell came out. The magic book laughed. "Look, it's not good to have a fire. Do you want us to die of cold or to be thirsty? If you don't work hard, the fragrance of the dragon egg will be dissipated and you will surely hear it." The voice fell, and a rapid sound of hoof sound came from the grassland. Dai was startled and raised his head and saw a single-horned beast coming out. The guy had a very terrible silver-gray hair, with a single horn like a knife and a lot of green grass juice, looking like a wanderer who didn't eat. It headed straight to the dragon egg, its nose twitching constantly. Wow, what's this good thing? It sounds more attractive than my favorite strawberry. Dai jumped up tightly, picked up the egg and stepped back. Hey, you can't take it away, this is mine. The Nongjiao didn't care, licked his lips, his eyes were bright. It's obviously my dinner. Let's open, I'm tired. It rushed over and awkwardly, Dai was panicked and fell to the tree, and the egg almost fell to the ground. The magic book whispered in his backpack, "Ha, stupid. You can't stand firm even when you stand. Why do you eat something with the other person? Use a spell, don't be there like a wooden song." Dai panted and recited a quick spell, trying to slow down the noble corner bamboo. As a result, the spell was a coincidence, making the steps of the non-cock bamboo go funnily and fast. It rolled Dai around like dancing, and hummed a little tune. Oh, this egg smells so good. I'm going to eat it and swallow it in one bite. Dai ran after it, and the two chased me and knocked over the fire, and the branches scattered, making it messy. The magic book continued to mock. See, ghost, you pronounce this mantra just like jumping. Don't come next time, so that we will all become its heart. The Nongjiao finally stopped and held the egg in his arms. Dai was so tired that he gasped, "Wait, we can talk. I have something to eat. Isn't there any wild fruits in the tree forest?" The Nongjiao looked at him with a slanted head. Talk? Okay, you give me a reason. Why do I want to let go of this delicious food? Dai's brain teaser turned. Because we can take risks together. I have a mission, stealing the dragon egg is just the beginning. If you help, I promise to find more delicious food for you. The magic book interrupted. Oh? The waste disciple will actually discuss. Be careful, it will put on the cushion as soon as it hears what it eats. The eyes of the Uncle Bamboo lit up and he put down the egg. It sounds good. How delicious. Dai smiled. For example, magic fruit? It's sweet, I guarantee you can't love it. The Uncle Bamboo lit up. Like a gourmet, do it. But you have to share my egg first. Dai shook his head tightly. No, I have to keep it. The three of them laughed at the noise. The night was deeper, and the sound of the slightest brighter. Dai felt that there was a nuisance in this journey, and he could just continue to move forward and explore the next ridiculous mission. Dai wiped the sweat beads of her head, and her shoulders were still sore. He glanced at the horned beast. The guy was chewing wild fruits that had just come from the forest, his mouth was covered with juice, and he looked like a long-lasting hairy monster. The magic book flipped the page in his backpack and muttered displeasedly, "Hey, waste disciple, you let this food follow us? If you go on, we may have to help it find a bottomless pit to serve as a canteen." Dai looked over and grabbed the dragon egg and continued forward. They walked deep into the trees along the winding little mountains. The night was heavy, and the wings sounded like an endless concert, with stars flashing among the trees. Not long afterwards, they entered a strange open space. The ground was filled with winding stones, piled up into crooked arches, surrounded by thorny vines, and the moonlight shone down, making everything look like a half-buried stage. The horned beast suddenly stopped and his nose twitched. "Hi, it smells like a musty smell here, but it's a bit romantic." It slammed its hair and its tail swept against the grass. Dai was about to understand, and a low singing voice came from behind the door. The sound of the sand is carrying a strange passion, like an old singer humming a love song. "Oh, beautiful moonlight, why don't you wait for me? My drama has grown into a mirror, and my heart will never wither." A skinny skull appeared from the shadow, holding a flashing sword in his hand, with flower patterns engraved on the blade, looking like an overbearing sage warrior. It swayed its brains, its empty eyes staring at them. "Invaders? Do you dare to slap my eternal song? Pull the sword, or come to a song to fight." Dai was so scared that he took a step back and tightened the dragon egg. "Wait, we are not here to fight. Just lost." The magic book couldn't help but interrupt, and made a harsh laugh from his backpack. "Ha, sing? Waste, this guy thought we were here to participate in the singing competition? Quickly use your crooked spell to sing it so that we could all fall asleep." The skeleton didn't think so, and slapped the skeleton, like a guide. "Okay, fresh opponent. Let's make us more exciting than whose song. If you lose, you have to leave your... Well, eggs are a gift. The skeleton lit up his eyes and licked his lips. Egg? It sounds good, but I'll sing first. Dai was anxious, and his brain flew quickly, reciting a phantom curse that he half understood, trying to make skeletons sing a mess. As a result, as soon as the spell came out, a strange echo burst out from the air, and the skeleton's song turned into a group of squirting, and it sounded like a pig called a bird. The noble bamboo was amused by the noise and couldn't help but hum his own tune. Oh, this song is so interesting, I'll add the rhythm. It jumped up, stepped on the grass, singing around, dandandan, fragrant spray, everyone have a big meal together. It was absurd at the scene. The skull slammed at first, then laughed. No, no! You freaks, actually make my song more interesting. The magic book flipped even more out of her backpack. See ghost, what kind of curse is this? Dai, you are simply a singer killer. Don't get along next time, otherwise we will all have to as a backing singer. Dai relaxed his voice and said with a smile, hey, can we not beat him? If you join us, there are more fun things to do. The skull slammed the drama and said a little bit of bones. Okay, since your song is so funny, I'll follow you. I might be able to regain my spirit. They laughed and moved forward. The night wind blew away the singing, and there was a new silence deep in the forest. Dai felt that there was another strange partner in this adventure, just in time to explore the next mission. They continued to walk forward, and the night became denser in the forest. Dai held the dragon egg in one hand and opened the branches with the other, complaining that the road under his feet was like a beach mud. The horned beast followed behind, and his nose kept twitching, looking for anything to eat. The skeleton walked swaying beside him, with his mouth unintentionally humming the love song that he could never finish. Love is like the wind, blowing away the bones, my drama is always bright. The magic book flipped through the pages in his backpack, and the sound was like an impatient old man. Hey, waste disciple, you team sounded like a wandering song group. Hurry, there was a silence in front, we were on the way. Not long afterwards, they entered a block of open spaces, and in front of them was a noisy goblin camp. In the camp, green little guys jumped around the fire, with raw weapons in their hands, and the ground was filled with messy bowls and pots. There was a smelly smell in the air, like moist meat mixed with moldy grass. Dai was stunned for a moment and said in a low voice, wow, why is this place so hot? Shouldn't we come in? The magic book immediately interrupted and made a harsh laugh from his backpack. Hot. This is the goblin party, waste. Have you forgotten the next mission I gave you? Helping these green monsters' physical hair is the key to unsealing the seal. If you don't do it, we will never be able to get out of this forest. Dai blinked, feeling that the command was ridiculous. Hair care? Please, I can't even handle my hair well. The smell of the horn balls, eyes lit up, and my nose dripped close to a goblin hair oil jar. Hi, this thing sounds sweet, like a soy sauce. Can I try it first? Skeleton Slayer hum and click the head. Herring? It sounds romantic. I'll sing a song to help you get excited. Scissors fall down, love is released. The goblin leader next to him, a big man wearing a crooked hat, widened his eyes and shouted, Human? Are you here to get angry? Roll out, otherwise we will greet you with a stick. The scene suddenly became a group. Dai panically recited a simple mantra of transformation, hoping to help the first hair to rectify. As a result, as soon as the mantra came out, the green hair of the head suddenly turned into a rainbow color, and the red, blue, and yellow rose up in a mess, like an explosion of fake hair. The goblin screamed in surprise, oh, my head. What kind of curse is this? The noble bamboo licked the can of hair oil while he was squirting, and immediately spit it out. Oh, sweet, sweet, but it smells strange, like a bad apple. It still couldn't help but lick it again, and jumped around while chewing. The skull sang love song without hesitation. Oh, colorful hair, how beautiful it is. The goblins chased Dai in a hurry, and he hid in Tibet with Long Dan Dung in his arms. Wait, I didn't mean it. This is the idea of the magic book. The magic book laughed in his backpack. Ha, see the ghost, your magic trick is just a joke. I will practice more next time, don't make their heads turn into a colored plate. The leader grabbed a wooden stick and shouted, you these crazy guys, first change my hair back. The only one is a mess next to me, steals a hairbrush as a toy, and runs around and says, hey, I think this is good, with many colors, and looks lively in the business. The skull snail continued to hum and try to calm everyone down. Don't worry, friends, let the music resolve the conflict. Hairs are like waves, love songs are like trends. Just in the midst of chaos, Dialingji reiterated a spell, which changed everyone's hair back to its original state, and accidentally turned the head hat into a light crown. The goblins stopped chasing, stared at the head in a daze, and then burst into laughter. Ha, boss, you look like a king. The head was angry at first, and then couldn't help laughing. Okay, you guys are funny. Since you helped me upgrade to dress up, don't leave, eat together. Dai relaxed his voice and said, thank you, we are on the way. They sat down with a smile and shared a simple restaurant in the camp. The sound from the deep forest was blowing lightly, as if there were more surprises waiting. They swayed from the goblin camp, their stomachs still flying, and walked around to chat about the simple barbecue meal. Dai held the dragon with one hand and wiped his mouth with the other, saying, hey, at least we were not driven away by those green guys, and we were still eating it. The lone beast walked behind the back, and his nose still smelled restlessly, muttering to himself, those barbecue have a strange smell, but they can still survive. The skeleton swayed the sword and hummed a song. Friendship is like fire, barbecue is like songs, and our journey has just begun. The roads deep in the forest are getting narrower and narrower, with trees densely spreading the road, and a scent of moist earth floating in the air. Dai walked as he walked, his feet heavier, and complained in a low voice, no matter how dark this place is, I can't see the road clearly. Suddenly, a big tree seemed to have come alive, twisting its roots, slowly moving towards them. The noble bamboo jumped and started to shout, wow, is this tree dancing? Does it want to eat with me? The magic book made a harsh laugh from the backpack. Haha, waste master, do you think the forest is a park? These trees have souls and will chase people. Move quickly, your escape skills are as slow as urgents attend a marathon. Panicked his feet, hugged the dragon egg tightly, and recited a simple obscure mantra to make them hide. As a result, as soon as the spell came out, the dragon egg began to make a strange buzzing sound, constantly responding like a leather-tuning toy speaker. The creatures in the forest are resurrected at the time, and a group of guardian spirits transform into small animals, which emerge from the trees. Some are as tall as foxes and have their tails shining, some are as bright as birds, with green light on their wings. They came over, staring at the dragon eggs, as if they had discovered a free lunch. The eyes of the Nako bamboo lit up, and he took advantage of the trouble to rush toward a magic fruit, and took a bite and shouted, hey, this fruit is sweet. Who cares about those trees? Don't eat it. Dai ran around and shouted, and the noise of the dragon egg made the entire forest echo. The guardian spirits chased after him, and a spirit transformed into a rabbit jumped in front of him, his teeth flashing with cold light. The skeleton slammed calmly and hummed the song, crisis is like a wind, love songs are resolved. Don't be afraid of friends, love will protect us. His singing unexpectedly made the spirit stun for a moment, and stopped walking, as if he was amused. The magic book interrupted again, oh, look at this singer, it's good to sing. Unfortunately, your teammates are more useless than the other one. Dai, your spell is simply a policeman in the forest. Save it, don't hurl us into the coffin again. The chase turned into a drama. Dai reached a stone and almost smeared the dragon egg. He hurriedly shouted, wait, don't chase everyone. We are not here to snatch things. There was still fruit in the mouth of the single beast, and he ran and complained, these fruits are a little sour and tasted like moldy apples, but it's okay. It accidentally hit a tree, and the branches swayed, and the spirits were scared to scatter. The skeleton hummed even louder, there is a crisis on the head and the sings are singing under the feet, let's dance. Strangely, his songs made the guardian spirits begin to calm down, and some even turned back to the light, as if they were amused. They finally shook off the spirits and came to a hidden spring with panting. The water surface was clear, with a few luminous leaves hanging in it, and strange symbols were engraved on the stone beside it. Dai squatted down and gasped, saying, "This place is good, at least you can drink a little water." The horned beast immediately drank, licked the water and said, "Wow, sweet. Better than those fruits." The magic book calmed down, and then said, "Okay, Waste, this spring has a thread. The next mission may have something to do with the symbols here, but don't mess it up again." They sat here and rested, the spring was gurgling, and the sound of the forest calmed down, as if there were more adventures waiting ahead. They sat next to the spring water, which was flowing gurgling, and the strange symbols on the stone beside them looked like a pile of chaotic ducks, making Dai couldn't help but look at them twice. The horned beast lay on one side, licking the water with a big mouthful, and murmured in his mouth, "This water is really good, sweet, I feel like I can eat 10 fruits. The skeleton leaned against the tree, slapped on his legs, humming a little tune. "The spring water is like a dream, the symbols are like a poem, and our story continues to be edited." The magic book calmed down in Dai's backpack for a long time, and finally couldn't help but open his mouth. "Waste disciple, are you staring at those symbols there? Do you want to wear a cultural person? Be careful not to make a mess again." Dai wiped his sweat, squatted down and used his fingers to stroke out the marks on the stone. "I'm just curious," he said. "These symbols look like ancient magic languages, and may give us a thread." The horned beast raised its head and twitched its nose. "Line? Are there any food threads? I heard something fragrant nearby." The skeleton smiled and shook the sword. "Curiosity is a good thing, my friend, like my love song, can open up a new world." The magic book scoffed. "Curiosity? Last time your curiosity caused us to be chased by the tree spirit. You are simply a natural numbing machine." Dai ignored the complaints and tried to recall the rune knowledge he had learned from the bookstore. He whispered a string of spells and plotted his fingers on the symbol. Suddenly, the stone lit up, and a red light burst out from the spring water, and the whole place began to vibrate. The air beside the spring water twisted into a huge figure, and a demon guardian with sharp horns appeared. It has a burly figure, a skin that looks like burnt skin, and its eyes are blinking green, and it roars, "Invader! Who dares to touch the ancient boundary?" Everyone was stunned. Dai jumped up quickly, and Long Dan was still holding him in his arms. He panically recited a defensive spell, but only a string of colorful bubbles were released, and the bubbles exploded in the air, causing some damp things to fall. "Oh no! Why did this spell turn into soap bubbles?" he complained. The magic book burst into laughter. "Ha, the best thing in the waste. You misread 2 or 3 words. This is okay, the devil probably thought you were giving it a bath. Find a way, otherwise we all have to make its dinner." The gnome Xiao's eyes lit up, and he took advantage of the trouble to rush to the nearby grassland and shouted in his mouth, "Wartime? I'll find some snacks to help you with the excitement." It bit a bunch of mushrooms that looked like glowing, chewed it, completely ignoring the dangers around it. The devil danced with his claws and came to Dai. The skeleton stood up calmly, humming a love song while the devil was blowing, "Danger is like waves, love is like lights, don't be angry with friends, let us come and dance." His singing actually made the devil stunned for a moment. The green eyes were flashing, as if they were amused, but he immediately shouted, "Silly! This is a battle, not a concert." The scene became a mess. Dai tried to cast a spell again, and this time he released a crooked blade, which only wiped the demon's shoulders, making it scratch its slut. "Oh, my hands are shaking like this, what should I do?" he shouted. The magic book continued to complain, "Shake? Your hands tremble every day, and it should have been a seismic operation. Go away quickly, it is about to attack." The side of the noble gate shouted, "These mushrooms are so delicious. They are a little spicy, so I'll give you, Dai, come and refresh yourself." It actually slapped a mushroom over, hitting the demon's face, causing the guy to sneeze and spraying some green smoke. The skeleton saw the story and hummed even louder, the power of love songs can resolve hatred and make us reconcile as before. The demon was dizzy by the song and slowed down. Dai took the opportunity to hide behind the stone with the dragon egg in his arms. The horned beast continued to break through several stones, accidentally breaking another symbol in the boundary. Suddenly, the devil's figure began to fade, and it roared, "You guys, wait and see," and then dispersed like smoke. Everyone was gasping, and the spring water became calm again. Dai wiped the sweat from the top and said, "It's been turned off all the time, but I have to confirm the spell next time." The soul beast licked his mouth. "Those mushrooms are really not worth it. Who wants to have another mouthful?" The skeleton put away the sword and snorted, "It's like this, I'm always surprised." The magic book was silent for a moment. He said in a low voice, "It's just a good time. Those dispersed symbols may contain new lines, so don't waste time again." They continued to sit by the spring, their eyes swept unconsciously toward the surroundings. The glowing leaves drifted on the water, as if there were more secrets waiting for them to explore. They sat in a circle of bonfires beside the spring water, and the fires leaped, illuminating the shadows of trees and the scattered symbols. Dai raised his eyes, stared at the blurry marks on the ground, trying to recall the magical knowledge he had learned from his previous studies. The night wind blew slightly, carrying a wet grass scent, making people feel a little calm. The horned beast was lying on one side, his nose twitching constantly, whispering the smell of the air, and muttering softly, "What's delicious nearby? Those shiny leaves look crispy and chew like snacks." The skeleton leaned against a stone and placed the sword beside him. He hummed an old love song lightly, "The night is like a silkworm, and the spring water is like a kiss, so let us explore." His singing was a little tactile, which unexpectedly made the atmosphere relax. Dai grabbed his head, picked up a branch, and painted the symbols on the ground. "I think these symbols are not just ambiguous," he said. "You might be able to spell out a map or some thread." The magic book hummed from the backpack. "Oh?" The waste master suddenly became a master of delusion. "Last time you chanted a spell to turn the demon into a sneezing machine, and now you want to play runes? There's probably only air and snails in your brain." Dai ignored the harsh ridicule and continued to draw the marks with his fingers. The horned beast slammed over curiously, rubbing its nose against the leaves on the ground. "This leaf shines and sounds sweet," it said. "I'll try it after taking a bite." It bit off a piece of it, chewed it, and then spit it out. "Oh, it's so bitter. It's like taking a wrong medicine." The skeleton laughed, singing along the strings of the play, "The leaves are like a joke, the taste is astonishing. Friends, don't be angry, come again." Dai couldn't help laughing, but his hand slipped and he accidentally pressed one of the symbols. Suddenly, a group of blurry images appeared in the air, like a picture painted in a fog. An ancient castle shadow appeared, surrounded by fire and strange creatures. In the image, a figure looks like the original body of a magic book, floating in the air, saying in a low voice, "Ancient secret, guarded in the depths of the castle." Dai widened his eyes. "Wow, what is this? Rune illusion?" The magic book interrupted tightly, "Don't be there for decoration experts, this is because you touched it. If your IQ is a little higher, you might not step into a trap every time." The solemn beast jumped up excitedly. "Castle? Is there anything to eat? It sounds like a party place." The skeleton stopped singing and said seriously, "The illusion is like a poem, taking us to explore. Maybe there is a romantic battle there." Dai tried to focus. The image became clear, revealing a hidden path map. The magic book was silent for a moment, and then said in a low voice, "Well, since you must know, I was sealed in that castle before. Those symbols were left by my old friend, hiding the door to power. But you guys should not be together, otherwise it will not be so good next time." Everyone stared at the image, and Dai thought there was something new about this, but he didn't say anything. The horned beasts went to sniff the leaves again, the skeleton hummed another song, the flames continued to flash, and the springs flowed lightly, as if waiting for their next move. The night was getting deeper, and the sounds around became even more mysterious. Dai stared at the blurry image in the air, and his heart was calculating the next step, but was blocked by the nose of the noble corner. The guy was sniffing again, his nose twitching like a storm. "Wait," the noble bamboo suddenly shouted, "I heard something." There was a sweet fragrance in the forest, like magic fruit and spices. Maybe it was a big party. Its eyes lit up, and immediately forgot about the castle, turning heads towards the tree. Dai glanced at his eyebrows and shouted loudly, "Oh, Nozomi, we have to follow that way. Didn't the video say that the castle has a secret?" But Nozomi had ignored him and murmured in his mouth, "Gourmet party? It sounds great, I want to hold a small banquet first." Again. The magic book made a harsh hum from the backpack. "Oh, the big Taotai King is going to perform again. Uncle, what else do you have in your brain besides eating? Last time you ate something wrong, we ran a few miles away from the volcano. Do you want to come again this time?" The horned beast was unreasonable and had already used the horn to pick up a string of glowing fruits. The things looked like blinking fruits, each wrapped in a layer of flickered film, as if wrapped in sugar. "Come on, everyone! This is magical fruit, chewy and a little spicy," it shouted excitedly, then turned to the nearby trees and shouted, "Hey, you guys are these tree spirits and mushrooms, have you come to my food competition? Who eats the most, who wins?" Sure enough, a group of strange creatures emerged, a few tree spirits that could dance, and the leaves were shaking like they were twisting their waists, and a few mushrooms that could speak, and they complained with a sound, "We don't eat this kind of thing, they will make you heads." The scene is always in a row. The tree spirits began to dance strange dance steps around the bonfire, and the leaves were slapped, the mushrooms were stuck next to the horns and tried to make a comeback. After chewing one of the mushrooms, it said, "Oh, this thing is like a spice that is so spicy that I almost melted." Dai tried to maintain order and shouted with his hands, "Stop, stop, we can't eat it, what if it's poisonous?" But no one heard him. The skeleton picked up the guitar and hummed a love song. "It's like a beauty, the spicy taste is like a hot kiss, making us go crazy." His singing moved like a wolf howling, which made the tree spirit smile even more vigorously. The magic book continued to complain, "Look, this is your teammate, the unknown ball. A low IQ feast may make everyone turn into a dancing hot chicken in the next second." Unknown ball was dissatisfied and replied, "What do you know about this old book? Let's take a game, see who eats it quickly." It swallowed several fruits in one bite, and then announced the rules of the big game. Number 1 round, eating fruit is more speed. The second round, sharing the secret, winning the prize for the family. A tree essence said first, "Okay, I know about the castle, there are guardian creatures there, but the entrance is hidden behind the turning stone door." Another mushroom type coded, "Also, eating too much magical food will make people see illusions, like seeing a flying stone." When Dai heard this, he tried to stop it, but found that he felt a little bit light. The nestling continued to host the competition with great enthusiasm. Everyone said and said something, and accidentally revealed more traces in their smiles. The magic book said happily, "You fools, keep playing. When you feel like you are on the upper hand, we will come and clean up the toilet." In the night, the sound of the forest became more lively, as if the whole party was about to reach orgasm. The tree spirit pulled Dai to join the dance. He swayed helplessly, and strange shadows began to appear in his brain. From the nearby trees, a slight wind blew, bringing more mysterious breath, which seemed to be leading them to the next adventure. Dai rubbed his eyes, feeling that the illusion in his brain finally faded away, and the light feeling of flying seemed like a dream that had woken up. The bonfire in the forest was still cracking, and the tree spirit stopped dancing with twisted waists, sat down on the ground, gasping for breath. "Oh, that fruit is really awesome," which made me think I was flying. The horned beast was lying beside him, his mouth was filled with the remaining magic fruit, and he chewed and muttered, "It's good to eat, but I still want to come and make it sweet again. I have to find some leaves with soy sauce next time." The skeleton didn't wake up so quickly. He shook his bones and held the sword in his hands, his eyes shining, as if he had an illusion that made him feel more spiritual. The moonlight came down from the treetops. He stood up, cleared his throat, and hummed a new love song. "Oh, beautiful flowers, you are floating in the forest, I will watch over you." His voice moved like a wind blowing through the dead leaves, unexpectedly attracting the creatures around him. A group of spirits who can dance emerged from the trees. They were like flashing fireballs, buzzing their wings, surrounding the skeleton snares, giggling, "This guy is so funny, come on, come another song. If it doesn't happen, the problem will be big." An intentional flower slowly rises from the ground, the petals are like silk lines, and there are also a pair of blinking stamens in the center. It heard the song, shaking it, as if moved, and said lightly, "Hey, Mr. Bones, your song makes me happy." The skeleton took a thrill and swung the dance as a guitar. "Love flowers, let me sing for you all night, I promise not to walk." But this time it angered the nearby forest guards. Those furry-looking vine monsters burst out from the dark and shouted jealously, "Dare you? This flower is our treasure, who'll make you come and ask for love?" The scene was a mess. The guardians stretch out their vines and try to pull away the flowers. The spirits fly over and pushed away. The skeleton's skull was not to be outdone, so he planned to plot, "Don't be moved, this is my true challenge." Dai was shocked and retreated, shouting, "Wait, everyone is calm. We are just passing by, don't kill anyone." He wanted to stop, but was knocked down by a vine and fell to the sky. The magic book burst into a harsh laugh from the backpack. "Ha, skeleton, what are you doing with this white love sacred? Please love a flower, maybe it will open a thorn to bite you later. Low-level love songs kill people." The horned beast slipped to the side while his nose began to thrust again. He found a shiny mushroom nearby. He immediately lowered his head and chewed. "I don't care if you fight, I'll eat it first." The mushroom is crispy and chewed like a crispy bun. The tree spirit on the side couldn't stand it and hid on the vines and said, "Hey, Mr. Bone, yours didn't the song mention the castle? There is a turntable in that place, and there are treasures hidden inside, which is not a romantic thing." The guard heard it, paused for a moment, and said in a rough voice, "Humph, do you want to make a fuss? The castle is so strict, there are dragons in it, don't think you can enter by singing, unless you bring some delicious food to change it." The battle continued, the flowers were pulled away, the spirits laughed even more, and the skeletons were still humming the song beside them. Dai finally got up and grabbed the tail of the Nongjiao bamboo. "Please, don't be so arrogant. We have to find a way to leave. This may cause even greater trouble." The magic book interrupted and said, "Yes, if you continue this ridiculous drama, we will never be able to reach the castle. Skeleton, go chase the flowers another day, and figure out the turn of the door first." As the night wind blew over, the sound of the forest calmed down, and everyone stopped slowly and calmed down. Along the way, a low roar came, and something seemed to be approaching here. Dai rubbed the knees that were slapped by the vines, and when he stood up, he felt a little nervous, and the air in the forest still had a chaotic smell that had just been fighting. The low roar from afar sounded again, like a big wild beast clearing his throat, shaking the leaves rustling. Everyone stopped and looked at each other. The skeleton put away the drama and patted the dust on the bones and said, "Hey, the roar sound is good. It's not a dragon, right? If it's going to appreciate my song, I can sing a new song for it to listen to." The ninth beast twitched his nose and his eyes lit up. "Dragon? There's something to eat in the dragon's nest, right? Especially those flashing mushrooms, I heard it, it's super fragrant." Dai took a deep breath and tried hard to put on his head, although his heart was swaying. "Okay, we have to follow that sound. The door treasure mentioned by the guard may be in the dragon's nest. If we get it, we can continue to move forward." He took out the one-year-old magic book from his backpack, and the page was slightly slim, as if he was yawning. The magic book made a harsh sneering sound. "Oh? The disciple of the wilderness wants to lead a team to the dragon's nest? Last time you cast a spell, you can't even find any sparks. Now you want to play a special game? Remember last time you tried the obscurity spell, and turned yourself into a transparent half-hour, which made me not see you stupid?" Dai grinned awkwardly and slapped his hand. "I'll succeed this time, I've practiced it." They quietly walked along the little one, and the trees were sparse, with a huge cave entrance in front of them, and the rocks were full of strange symbols, like dragon claws yawning. Dai chanted a mantra in a low voice, trying to make everyone obsessed, but in the end he only made his hands blurry and his feet made a sound, like stepping on a loose stone. The noble bamboo couldn't help but sniff, and his nose drew straight into the hole. Wow, this mushroom smells so rich, it feels crispy and has a little bit of sausage, I have to go and take a look. As soon as it slammed into a hidden vine, making a crackling sound, and a warning growl came from the hole. Idiot, the only one. You're thinking about eating again. The magic book shouted, what the hell? We could have sneaked in, but now you wake up Guardian. The skeleton saw the scene, pulled out the heroic posture, and began to hum a love song. The sound moved like a broken box. Oh, Guardian, your bright film will make me feel like a heartwarming dance. A dragon's tail poked out from the hole, swaying, as if it was confused by the singing, and stopped to listen to it. Dai tightly grabbed the tail of the Nolong bamboo and said in a whisper, don't move. Let the skeleton hold it first. The Nongjiao muttered discomfort, I don't care. I heard that the baby mushrooms are gone. I must eat them later. Shogun was confused by the love song and shook his head, as if he was slamming the rhythm. Dai took the opportunity to lead everyone into the cracks on the side. The damp air inside was filled with the smell of sulfur. They were slapped in the narrow passage, and the skeleton sang in a low voice, beautiful slices, don't move. The horned beast suddenly lowered, biting a glowing mushroom, and chewing it crunched. As a result, a small stone collapsed, almost suppressing Dai. You too. Skeletons don't sing, don't eat alone. Dai softened his voice, tried to maintain order, and then recited the wrong mantra, which made the passage light up a tangled green light. Magic book, help me. The author sneered, help you? Last time I helped you, you put the fireball on your feet. The waste is waste. Look for the turn, otherwise we will be completely finished. They continued to move forward, the passage turned, and there was a stone door in front, full of stone, like a breathable antique. The skull stopped singing and whispered, hey, your magic is as sing as my song. The skull licked his mouth and said excitedly, there are more delicious foods behind the door, I dare to catch them. They approached step by step, and heavier breathing came from behind the stone gate, as if the guardian was not completely cheated, and the air was filled with the breath of the next challenge. They slowly approached the stone door, and the gems on the door were shining like breath, and the pungent smell of sulfur remained in the air. Dai carefully reached out to touch the symbol on the door, and accidentally slid, and the stone at the bottom of the foot fell, making a crisp echo. The horned beast immediately rushed forward, and his nose stuck in his mouth and sniffed it non-stop. Wow, this smell must be the best thing behind the door, crispy and sweet, maybe it's a flash of fruit. I have to take a bite and try it. The magic book flipped through the pages in Dai's backpack and made a harsh sneer, it's coming again, you're so fucked. Every time I just want to stuff my mouth, it's hard to blame your horns for being crooked. Last time you ate grass, your butt was still farting like a fire, which made all of us fall into the trap. If you do, then we have to be permanent residents in the dragon cloth. The ninja swayed in dissatisfaction, hey, you're not thinking about this broken book. At least I have the body to eat, unlike you, I just spit there. Your cover is moldy, and you're still embarrassed to say others? The skeleton couldn't help humming a song, and his voice moved like a broken one, oh, beautiful door, your stone flash makes me feel so stubborn. Come on, let's not be angry, we dance, sing, and forget the silence of this sour book. His drama gently hit the stone wall, and the rhythm was messy, which made Dai cover his ears tightly. Please, skeleton, your singing sounds like an old cow howls, don't make any more trouble. Dai said, trying to show off his strict leader's arsenal, and couldn't help laughing first. The magic book caught the opportunity and started to mock the mockery mode. Look at our leader, Dai, you have even recited a simple obscene spell, and you still want to point everyone now? Last time you tried to change water, but it turned out to be a sticky thing, which made the horned beast slip and fall into a group. Are you a hero? Wake up, the symbol engraved on this door is not a decoration, it has a curse. It may turn you into a stone statue and stand here forever as you are set up. Dai was startled and took a step back, half a step. Really, fake? Magic book, why didn't you say it earlier? The skeleton laughed. Ha, stone statue? That's not bad. At least I can eat forever without moving. The skeleton continued to chant. Dai, don't panic, I'll sing a song to unravel the curse. Oh, Mr. Curse, your symbol is so domineering, making my skeleton soft. His singing became louder and higher, but accidentally, the tip of the skeleton poked the stone on the door, and the door suddenly shook, making a low buzzing sound. Seeing the horn, he rushed forward and bit the vine at the door. Look at me. It's okay to eat it. The scene was always in a row, and Dai tried to hold the unicorn beast, but was distracted by the skeleton singing. You two, stop. We have to think of a way, we can't be more rude, he shouted, and he sounded like he was begging for a gift. The magic book does not give up the opportunity. Student, you should look at your virtue, so you might as well let me lead. At least I understand the ability to spell, and this door requires a correct spell to be interpreted, not by eating or singing. Just as everyone was talking and fighting became more and more intense, the magic book suddenly calmed down. Wait, you heard it, there was a silence behind the door. Dai gently swayed everyone. Okay, let's stop arguing. Come on, skeleton, you sing to attract attention, you are responsible for biting the way, I'll chant the spell. Skeleton chewing on the vines and said, I'll cooperate as long as there is something to eat. Skeleton slapped the head and corrected his stalking. No problem, boss, I can sing a little. They got together again. Dai took a deep breath and prepared to face the curse. The team's smile seemed to make the atmosphere relax a little, ready to face the next challenge. Dai took a deep breath and tried to calm his trembling sound. Okay, don't panic. Skeleton, you sing and pull your attention away first, so that the curse on the door is not too alert. Unlocked, you are responsible for biting those vines, but you only bite the edges, don't eat them. I'll concentrate on chanting the mantra and untie this door. Before he finished speaking, Unlocked the beast shook his brain and sniffed the vines around the stone door. Bit open the way? It sounds good, but the vine has a sweet taste, so maybe there is a fruit hidden in it. If you can chew it 2 bites first, you might also add some salt to taste. The only one said. I opened my mouth wide and almost bit the stone on the door. The magic book flipped through the pages in his backpack and made a harsh giggle. Look at this team. Dai, your plan is simply a disaster rehearsal. Let a horse that only wants to stuff his mouth bit the door, and then thrust the spell with his skull's broken throat? Next time we just do a party. Remember that last time you recited the wrong spell? The thing that turned out was like a group of jumping fruits, which made us run for a long time before we got rid of it. Dai raised his eyebrows and slapped his hands tightly. Don't be so damn magic book. You always love to complain, but never mention the regular suggestions. At least we're trying now. The skeleton didn't think it was clearing his throat, or it was a bone, and then he pulled out his posture and knocked on the stone wall lightly. No problem, boss. I'm here to sing a hot song, so that the curse will dance. Oh, door, your symbol is like a flicker of stars, making my heart beat like a drum. As soon as his singing came out, he kept messing around, jumping around, like a drunk crab crawling. The stone door began to shake slightly, and a faint blue light appeared in the air, as if something behind the door was awakened. The noble glass couldn't help laughing, biting the vine and spitting out debris. Skeleton, your song is so fierce. I heard it so hard that my teeth were ignorant. Wait, there is really something in this vine. It pulled hard, and a small handful of glowing roots were pulled out, and a group of green smoke was released in an instant. The smoke spiraled in the air, turning into several small magic spirits, which looked like mini fireballs, flying around in the west. Dai took a step back in surprise. Oh no, it's the little explosive spirit. Go away. But the horned beasts chased them excitedly. Hey, these look like roasted chestnuts, I'm going to try a bite. The scene was a mess. The skull sings continued to sing and tried to picture the spirits of An Huang. As a result, his snail accidentally hit a small explosion, causing a scattered smoke, causing everyone to cough. The magic book screamed, "You are all white." Now, the curse turns into a fire show. Ah Dai, recite your curse, don't be there. Ah Dai chanted the mantra with a loud voice, and the sound was tangled, the door is opened, the symbols are gone. Ah, wait, should you add a protective word? As soon as the mantra came out, the light on the stone door became softer, and the little explosive spirits dissipated like tired fire snails. The skull finally stopped, chewing something in his mouth, and murmured, "It's not bad, it tastes a little spicy, quenching thirst." The skull wiped it well, his bones, and said with a smile, "Look, my song is a big help. Next time we'll sing." Ah Dai relaxed his mouth. Although his hands were still shaking, he glanced at everyone's simulation and couldn't help laughing. "You are so, a mess, but at least we're still together." The team surrounded the stone doors, and the atmosphere became lighter from the beginning. Everyone pushed and checked the changes on the doors, prepared to push them and see what new troubles were hidden in their heads. The team pushed open the stone door, and a breeze blew, carrying a smell of soil and metal. They walked in and it turned out that behind them was a huge underground cave with bright lights and fire. There were high-pitched stone pillars, with strange symbols engraved on them. The entrance to the giant kingdom is like a large hall, the floor is covered with bright gems, and there are several giants on the third floor next to it, shaking big wooden sticks and staring at these uninvited guests. Ah Dai was head on, his eyes were slim, he slid out a smile, and tried to draw with confidence. Everyone, we're not here to worry. I'm just passing by, wanting to ask if I can borrow the road," he said in a daze, holding the magic book in his hand, afraid that it would be in trouble again. The giant king sat on the throne, which was as big as a hill, filled with gold coins and jewelry. He was thick and skewed with a crooked crown on his head, and a row of yellow teeth appeared when he smiled. "Ha, little guy. Are you a bunch of small people dare to come in? Want to borrow away? You have to negotiate first. I want you to help me get my lost boots back, otherwise I will stay here to be a servant." The giant king patted his chest hard, and the sound rumbled like thunder. As soon as the noble bamboo heard, his eyes staring at the pile of treasures beside the throne, there were so many shiny fruits there. It couldn't help but slid over and licked a red beet. "Wow, this tastes good, like an apple with sugar." "Ah Dai, let's talk to you, I'll try this first." It opened its mouth and bit it, and the fruit beads were fake, with a shiny stone stuffed in it, and the chewed beasts in the corners were chewed. The magic book flipped through the pages in Ah Dai's backpack and made a harsh laugh. "Oh, look at this guy. Ah Dai, your diplomatic plan is just a joke. Borrowing the way? You sound like you are borrowing salt from the neighborhood." As a result, the 8 horses coming and going to get into trouble again. Next time you just let it go as a deputy and eat up the other party's dinner. When the giant king saw the horned beast stealing, he jumped up immediately, and the wooden stick slammed the floor and shook it. "You beast, dare you steal my treasure," he roared, and the giants beside him followed and rushed over. Ah Dai was scared to retreat and tightened his hands. Wait a minute. We can solve the solution. Skeleton, sing and calm them down." The skeleton stool was calm and pulled out the stool, cleared his throat, or said it was a sound of bone clicking, and started singing. "Oh, brother giant, your sticks are as high as a mountain, making my heart pound. Come on, dance, relax, let's go." His song was chaotic, and unexpectedly amused the giants. They stopped and several Big Han people actually started to sway, as if they were dancing a clumsy dance. Taking advantage of the trouble, Ah Dai tried to chant a spell to help. "The door is not right, it's the peace curse. Let everyone, be gentle." As a result, he misunderstood his mind. Suddenly, a bunch of dancing bananas suddenly appeared in the air. The bananas were crooked and wore small hats, staggering around, and jumping onto the giant's head. The giant king couldn't help laughing when he was poked into the nose by a banana. "What kind of ghost thing is this? It's so fun. The scene will soon become a big battle. The horned beast ran after the bananas, chewing the stolen beads, and shouted, "Hey, these bananas are chewy. Don't fight, eat them together." The giants also gave up the fight and began to chase the dancing bananas. The skeleton continued to sing, and the tunes grew taller and higher. Dai wiped his sweat and relaxed his breath. "Look, this is a solution, right?" The magic book still didn't give up the opportunity. "Excellent, Dai. You have changed from diplomacy to a party host. Next time we'll be on a crazy day." The team smiled and hid the banana, slowly moving towards the depths of the kingdom. The giants chased the banana and did not pay attention to them anymore. The night was getting deeper, and everyone was panting, ready to face the next turn. The team slipped out of the chaos of the giant kingdom, panting along a winding underground tunnel. Dai was holding the magic book that always loves the broken mouth in his hand. The air in the tunnel was flashing with blue light runes on the wall, like a group of blinking firecrackers. The ninja beast followed behind, chewing the beads that had just been stolen, and walked around and muttered, "Hey, Dai, this place sounds like a dried cube, maybe there is something delicious waiting for us." The skeleton swayed his bones and hummed a little exploratory tune, which was like a squeezing song that was about to squeezing. "Oh, the ancient road, take us to the wonderful place and let this bone dance with you." His singing was a little harsh, but it always made everyone laugh. Dai wiped his sweat and tried to put on a brave look. "Okay, be careful, this place looks extremely dangerous. Those runes may explode at any time." He finished speaking, a stone slab in front suddenly sank, and a stone statue popped up from the ground. The stone statue was as long as a crooked dwarf, with twisted patterns on its body, green light on its eyes, and then it began to dance strange tap dances, stuttering on its feet. The eyes of the Nako bamboo lit up, thinking that it had met the freshness. "Wow! That stone thing looks crispy, I'll take a bite." It immediately swung over, its mouth was so loud that it tried to gnaw the edge of the stone statue. As a result, the stone statue turned around and kicked the nose of the unicorn beast, making it howl. "Oh! This thing is not sweet, it will still fight back." Dai retreated tightly, almost falling down. "Wait, I'm just stepping on a trap. Who designed this?" The magic book flipped through the pages in Dai's bag and made a harsh sneer. "Haha, Dai, you are such a fool, you can't walk well. Look, you will become a trap maker when you are tight. Next time, just set the fire under your feet and forget about it. Oh, by the way, the stone statue jumps quite well, it's stronger than your diplomatic skills." Dai rolled his eyes and tried to ignore the book's poisonous tongue. "Please, you can't close your mouth? We have to find a way to go." The skeleton continued to hum, and the tune became faster. "Dance, dance, little stone friend, let us sway this bone together." His song seemed to sink the stone statue, and it slowly stopped dancing and retreated back to its original position. The team took the opportunity to move forward, passed through a row of glowing arches, and entered the depths of the tide. The walls here are filled with ancient symbols, like silhouettes, but each pen is flashed with silver light. Suddenly, they discovered a huge secret door, full of twisted patterns, and a crystal as big as a fist was embedded in the center. The crystal flashed with a blue-purple swirl inside, which looked like a living gem, and occasionally spit out small sparks. "Wow, what is this?" Dai approached a little and reached out to touch it. The unicorn beast is swept ahead. "It looks like a big fruit, but it feels like it will bite." Dai, be careful, I was so sorry for eating something wrong last time." The skeleton stopped singing and knocked on the door. "There is a story here, and it feels like an ancient guardian. Or maybe it knows our next mission." The magic book interrupted again. "Excellent, Dai, you found a flashing stone. Maybe it can help you make things more clear. Poke it up and see, maybe it hides maps or some messy secrets." Dai took a deep breath and pressed the crystal. A low buzzer emanated from the door, and a light shot out from the head, projecting a blurry image showing the hidden place in the depths. The team was amazed with big eyes. It seems like a wire, said Adai. The elixir licked his lips. Don't worry, let's go in before, maybe there's something to eat to wait. They were about to push the door, and the skeleton hummed a song again, and the tune led everyone forward quickly. There was more light in front of the tunnel, and the adventure seemed to be about to begin. The team pushed open the huge door, and the air inside suddenly became warm and humid, as if walking into an old underground room. The projected image flashes on the wall, showing a winding path that leads to the core of the road. Adai heads the magic book as a lamp. Okay, don't be stunned, just take this step, he said. His voice was quite calm, and actually he was playing drums in his heart. The horned beast swayed its tail and its nose twitched. Hi, this image sounds sweet, maybe it's the secret treasure marked on the map. Adai, I'll take a step first. It rushed forward excitedly, stepping on a sag on the floor. At the end of the day, a blue light rose from the ground, turning into a crystal-shaped thing, floating in the air. The crystal is like a transparent soap bubble, with sporadic images flashing inside, and the blurry scene begins to play. The magic book trembled in Adai's hand. Oh, what kind of trick is this? I don't think about those stupid things. It loudly protested, flipping the book page, and sounded like a lively pot. Hey, Adai, please turn it off quickly. This is my past, full of a task to lose my face. The image gradually became clear, showing a singing dragon swaying in an ancient cave. The dragon looked like a big red lizard, spitting out flames from its mouth, and sang a strange love song. Oh, baby, my heart is burning, let's dance together. The sound of the magic book was emitted from the image, and at that time it looked like a radiant talisman, trying to cover the dragon with a snail. At that time I thought I was an amazing guardian, but the guy laughed at me and said, "You are so hard to hear than me when you are broken into stone." Then he swept over with his tail and I flew out 10 miles. Adai couldn't help laughing. Ha, magic book, you're too bad, right? It turns out that you used to be like me, often messing up things. He tried to take a light photo of the book, and said calmly, "It's okay, everyone has failed, right? At least you can still complain about us now." The non-kodo bamboo stared wide, thinking that this was a food statement. Wait, this hulong sounds so delicious. When it sings, does it have a big mouth and a barbecue smell? Adai, let's grab it and eat it. It licked its lips, pretending to bite the image, but it only bit the air and coughed in embarrassment. The skeleton swayed his bones and hummed a song of talk. Oh, the love song of fire dragon, the failure of the guardian. Let the bones dance, wish this absurd past. His tune was so happy that it was like talking about friends in a tea house, which made everyone laugh. The magic book slammed back. Your bones are not singing there. If I hadn't failed that year, where would you be shaking now? The image continued to play, showing that after the magic book was ridiculed by Fire Dragon, the wolf rolled down the hillside with dust on his body. That mission was originally to subdue it, but I became a laughingstock. It was so absurd. The magic book beeped, but the sound was a little softened, as if it was mocking itself. But, seriously, Adai, you guys remind me of who I was back then. I always come around, but I can still move forward with a smile. As the team watched and chatted, the atmosphere became lighter than the tight adventure, like a story about friends. Adai pointed at the head. Hey, don't we have you like this? Next time we will find a way to stop letting you eat. The gnome Jiaozhi interrupted. Yes, right. If there's a fire dragon next time, I'll bite its tail, and you'll come and sing and scare it. The image faded away, leaving the crystal slowly sinking back to the floor. The team continued to move along the projection road, and a few more lights lit up in front of the tunnel, with wind blowing, carrying a fresh smell of earth. The skeleton was still humming a little tune, and everyone's pace became lighter and faster, as if they had drawn some courage from this memory. The team walked along the projection road, the tunnel became wider and wider, and the fresh earthy smell in the air became more and more dense, as if it had dug a garden that had been hidden for 100 years. The skeleton was still humming his little tunes, and his bones hit the handle, making everyone shaking their brains. Adai put on a magic book to light and pretended that he was a reliable team. Okay, Everyone should be at the core of the team. Remember not to step on it. Whenever there is a trap, we rely on the team spirit to get there. As the voice fell, the noble corner bamboo couldn't help but thrust his nose. It glanced at a flashing stone on the road, looking like a big fruit pot. Wow, this thing smells so good, maybe it's underground chocolate. It rushed over happily and bit it, and the stone suddenly came alive, turning into a stone statue guardian, with strange runes on its body and blue light on its eyes. Invaders. You have to explain it first. The statue roared with the sound of the sand, twisting its body and dancing an inexplicable dance, with its trance, like a drunk dancer. Dai was startled and stepped back. Wait, what is this? It's dancing? Don't panic, I'll come and find a way. He cleared his throat and tried to show his leadership. Well, Mr. Showay, we are here to take risks, not to be troublesome. You have to ask questions, right? Say, we will answer yes. The magic book flipped the book page on Adai's hand and couldn't help but complain. Hey, Adai, what kind of leader do you were like? Last time you were afraid of a mouse. Now when you meet a stone that can dance, do you want to be a hero? Be careful that it kicks you out with one foot. The horned beast was still chewing the stone fragments and full of crumbs. Hey, this stone is delicious, it's a bit crispy, and it seems to have a mineral flavor. Wait, what does it mean? Is it like guess what kind of food I am? The stone guard stopped dancing, stretched out a stone arm, and pointed at the team. Okay, the first question. I have it the wings fly but don't move, and the tail doesn't fend. What's the thing? The skeleton swayed his bones and hummed a love song of charity. Oh, friends, don't be afraid, this is the test. Let us sing courage and face the challenge of this stone. His tune was alive, as if he was selling on the street, which made Adai laugh. Adai took a deep breath and tried to recall. Is it a wind? Or... Wait, I think it's a fish. The stone statue slammed the head. It's wrong. It's a fish. The unicorn beast immediately interrupted. Fish. Then I love it the most. Adai, let's explain it quickly. Grab the fish. It stumbled happily, stepped on another trap with one foot, and the floor suddenly sunk, and a pile of vines emerged from the ground, sucking everyone's legs. In the midst of chaos, Adai was pulled down and the magic book shouted, Look, your waste team, now the whole team is almost turning into rice dumplings. You should have let me come and give it a guide. The team finally got rid of it. Adai stood up and patted the dust on his body. Everyone heard me that we can't come back. This mission is about the entire mainland, we'll win the team. He sounded louder, trying to inspire everyone, thinking about the past of the magic book. We have all failed, but we are still here, moving forward together. Come, cooperate. Explanation, pass by this mystery. Just as he was so excited that the noble bamboo heard something again, he rushed towards a stone that looked like a cake, and bit it. Oh my God, this is the real food. As a result, the stone guard laughed and danced more intensely, and the vine stumbled. Everyone stumbled and avoided, turning their eyes into an absurd pursuit game. The skeleton sang, Oh, friendship, never give up. His singing made the atmosphere less intense, and Adai couldn't help laughing. Okay, at least we can still laugh. They finally solved the subject. The stone guardian retreated back to his original position, the road lit up again, and everyone continued to move forward, his pace carrying a tired and joyful rhythm. In front of the tunnel, there are more light and shadows, and there seems to be new challenges waiting. The team continued to move forward into the new passage, and the tunnel suddenly became narrower, with blue-green spots flashing on the surrounding stone walls, like a group of glowing horns lit up lights. Adai walked in front of him, holding the magic book as a flashlight in his hand. His steps were a little stumbled, and everyone was still gasping for breath and came from the turmoil just now. The horned beast walked around and licked the stone debris around his mouth, and murmured, Hey, that stone smells good. If there's another next time, I will take a few more bites. The skeleton swayed his bones and hummed a small song, and the sound was particularly bright in the narrow space. Oh, the way of adventure is full of surprise. Without walking for a few steps, the nose of the Nobunaga started to twitch again. It glanced at a group of seemingly soft things along the wall, and it sounded like fresh apple pie, and couldn't help but slid over and took a bite. As a result, that thing is not food, but a hidden touch device. The floor sank suddenly, a gray and vines fell from the sky, sucking the legs of the unicorn beast and pulling it upside down. Dai jumped tightly and shouted, "One rope, you're here again. I can't help eating every time. Now it's better, we're all trapped." The magic book flipped the book page on Dai's hand and made a harsh laugh. "Ha ha, Dai, your team is in a mess. You obviously saw it rushing over, don't you hold it? If I had known, I would have led the way by myself, and this team would have become a terrible group." The horned beast was stalking, and the head was emerging from the vines, and the scumbag in his mouth was still holding the group of things. "Hey, I'm not blamed me this time, it's really delicious. Who knows it's fake?" The skeleton sang a song from the falling stone blocks. "Oh, friends, don't be angry, failure is the scent of success." His styling was originally trying to calm the atmosphere, which made everyone more anxious. Dai tried to keep his head steady and said, "Everyone is calm, we have to find a way to solve this trap. Don't blame each other first, remember we are team." But the magic book did not give up the opportunity and interrupted. "Cold? You were almost knocked down by the vines, and you still have a big hat? The last time you answered the question, which made us a group. If I hadn't reminded you, you would have been kicked away by the stone statue." I heard the noble bamboo, and immediately added a joke. "Haha, Dai, you are the leader, but every time something happens, I rely on magic books to put out the fire. To be honest, I would rather listen to the skull sing than you are." The skull slammed the tip of the sword, and the skull slammed the stone wall lightly. "Yes, brother Dai, yours the plan is always as chaotic as my lyrics. But don't worry, I'll sing a new song to cheer you up. Oh, the song of courage." What's wrong with failure? His singing became louder and louder, and the echoing sounds in the narrow tunnel made everyone laugh with their ears, which made them even more confused. Dai's face turned red and tried to improve his voice. "Wait, you're not fair. I just want everyone to pass safely. If it weren't for me, where would everyone have the spirit of the team?" As a result, his voice fell, and another group of vines fell from the ceiling, just slamming his arm, making him sway like a puppet. The magic book laughed. "Look, are you motivating the team? Now you become a scenic spot yourself. You will never learn it." The skull and the skull swordsman couldn't help laughing together, and the skull swordsman said, "You are so fun. I'll ask you for your opinion before I eat something next time." The skull swordsman continued to sing, "Oh, friendship exam, surviving with a smile." Just as everyone was in a group, a faint buzzing sound came from deep in the tunnel, as if something was waiting for them. Dai finally slapped the vines and gasped, Okay, we all have some problems, but now is not the time to fight inside. Come and cooperate and find a way out." His words made the atmosphere a little calmer. Although there was still a bit of humor, everyone began to check the stone walls around and try to find the next line. In front of the tunnel, the light and shadow became brighter, and there seemed to be a new secret calling. Dai took a deep breath and tried to pull everyone's attention back from the embarrassing things that had just happened. The buzzing sound came from the depths of the tunnel, like a large group of bees whispering, and a bit like a clock roaring from a distance. Everyone stood firmly, and the nostrils slammed their noses, saying, "Hi, I heard something, sweet, with a little metallic flavor. There must be something good in front." It said and shook forward, and its tail was thrown, causing the dust on the stone wall to scatter all over the floor. The magic book flipped through the page in Dai's hand and made a mocking sound. "Oh, the Grand Wanjiao visitor, are you here again? Last time you made a mistake, almost buried us all in the vines. If something goes wrong this time, I won't save you." Dai glanced at the book skin, and the broken cover was filled with a light purple light, as if waiting to see a joke. He said, "Okay, don't be swaying. You can explore the way first, but don't bite anything. Skeleton, you can watch the surroundings." The gnome Jiao hummed without hesitation, and his nose twitched forward. Without 2 steps, it suddenly stopped, and the foot slipped, and a row of pointed stone thorns popped up on the floor, like rows of barbed teeth, rising straight up. The horned beast danced with a startle and smiled embarrassedly. "Oh, this is not the same. It sounds like honey, but it is actually a big trap." The skeleton snorted and hummed a new song. "Oh, the song of the picture, the stone thorn dance, friends, don't panic." His singing was singing in a narrow space, and the tune was as fast as a party, which made Odd-Dye roll his eyes. "Please, skeleton sketcher, your songs make people tighter every time," Odd-Dye shouted, and at the same time he waved his hands to everyone to scatter. He looked at the stone wall and found rows of runes engraved on it, and the runes were flashing with blue light, like living vines twisting. "Look here, these runes seem to be wires. Magic book, aren't you thousands of old antiques? I'll give me some advice." The magic book flipped through the pages, and his language was like a teacher trainer. "Suggestion? Odd-Dye, you can't even recognize the basic runes, and you still want to be a leader. These are ancient guardian talismans, which can be unraveled by spelling. The one on the left is like a twisted moon, and the snake on the right is a curved snake. Quick, don't." The horned beast heard it and poked the stone wall with the corner excitedly. "I'll help. If I pry this rune off, wouldn't it be great?" As a result, it shook the whole wall with force, and a pile of soil and vines fell from the top, slamming the legs of the skeleton. The skeleton was knocked down, but he still sang. "Oh," unexpectedly, "friendship will not change." Everyone laughed, and Odd-Dye grabbed the skeleton and said, "Stop. You always do this, rushing to kill the cat. Come on, let's work together. Skeleton, you knock on those runes with the skeleton. Ah, magnificent, you use the skeleton. Which one is the key to the skeleton?" The magic book interrupted. "Ha, that's what it looks like. Odd-Dye, you're finally obedient. But don't let this eat next time." They started to move, and the skeleton's sword hit the stone wall lightly, making a crisp sound. Every time they knocked, the rune lit up a golden light. The noble bamboo sniffed carefully, avoiding the trap, and said in a low voice, "This rune has a scent of earth, which may be fake. What about that one, like fresh strawberries?" Odd-Dye focused his mind and spliced the runes, and found that they formed a circular pattern. "It looks like a seal pattern from magic books," he said. "Can't you think these have anything to do with your secret?" The magic book had to be the first time I didn't say back immediately. "Humph, waste, you guessed it. This tunnel is my hometown, and there is a source of power hidden in it. But don't ask too much, just uncover this one first." Everyone heard it and became excited. The skull snorted. "Oh, the secret is revealed, the adventure continues." The skull licked his lips. "No, I went ahead, I might have something delicious waiting." Odd-Dye was a little bit. They continued to move forward, the sound of the buzz became clearer and clearer, and the tunnel became a little wider. In front, under a faint light, there seemed to be more discoveries waiting. The atmosphere of the team relaxed, and there was a hint of expectation in the smile. They continued to move forward, and the tunnel gradually became wide and wide, and the buzzing sounded like a shaking song, coming from deep and brighter. Odd-Dye led the team, carefully avoiding the gravel on the ground, walking in front of the horns. His nose kept twitching, and his eyes were shiny. "Wow, this taste is super inviting, sweet and spicy. It feels like roasted chestnuts," it said excitedly, water flowing out of its mouth. The magic book flipped through Odd-Dye's hand, and his temperament was like an old man who loved to pick it up. "It's coming again, you're here to eat your brain bag. Every time I hear something, I'm not going to teach you last time I was stabbed by a stone jab. If I step on anything again, I promise I won't help you wipe your butt." Odd-Dye couldn't help laughing and patted the back of the ninja beast. "Don't listen to it, wait first, we'll be more stable." The lone beast was unreasonable, and when suddenly, the floor cracked and a hidden door slammed up, revealing a pile of flashing fruits, which looked like crystal apples, radiating an inspiring fragrance. Its eyes lit up, and immediately lowered its head and bit it. As a result, the whole room swayed, and several vines popped out from the wall, like a living whip, swaying everyone's legs. The skeleton was turned around and he still hummed a light song. "Oh, Vine Dance Club, my friends were bent." Everyone danced together. His singing was as lively as a street artist. As soon as the tune turned, even Odd-Dye couldn't help laughing. "Oh my god, you're fucking again!" Odd-Dye shouted while hiding, trying to pull the vine open. The magic book rang out and laughed. Look, I'll say this guy is a foul. Those things are really a slot. If you touch it, you will touch the defense system. Waste firewood, now you should go out, don't stand like a wooden head. Dai took a deep breath and finally developed a sense of urgency that he had never had before. He looked at the center of the room. The buzzing sound came from a crystal ball floating in the air, flashing with purple light, like a group of jumping flames, surrounding ancient rune patterns. Okay, magic book, let's talk about your secrets. Dai said, his spirits calmed down. Didn't you always say that you were an old antique? This crystal ball looks like the source of your power, right? The magic book made a moment, and didn't immediately respond for the first time. Humph, you fool, finally started to chant. Yes, this is the core of my hometown, hiding my past memory and power. But if you want to unlock it, you have to decide what to use it yourself. The horned beast finally scattered the vines and chewed half of the fruit awkwardly, saying, "Oh, but the taste is pretty good." The skeleton continued to sing, "Oh, the crisis has passed, friendship will always be there." His song made the atmosphere much easier. Dai walked closer to the crystal ball and felt a warm energy surrounding him. He thought about it and said to everyone, "We are not here to snatch things, but to friends. This power should be used to protect, not to be a silly." The magic book was silent for a moment, then the sound of the page became softer. "It's not bad, waste. You've learned it. Come on, touch it and end this messy adventure." Dai stretched out his hand and touched the crystal ball lightly. A ray of light burst out, illuminating the entire tunnel. Energy flowed into his body, and the cover of the magic book flashed toward Xingguang, becoming more stable. The skull shouted excitedly, "Wow, we succeeded. Are there any delicious prizes?" The skull snorted, "Oh, the end of the adventure, the story continues to sing." Everyone laughed in a group, and Dai felt that the heavy lifting on her shoulders became much lighter. They walked slowly back to the exit, and the sunlight outside the tunnel came in, carrying a clear wind. From then on, Dai is no longer a wasteland disciple, and the friendship between the team has become more solid, and there are more weird tasks waiting in the future.